What is going on, everyone? This is Jabo. I'm your host, Brendan Bryan, and these are my power rankings for the NASCAR Cup Series after the 9th race of the year at Kansas. Let's get started. It was a pretty interesting race at Kansas, though. At the front of the field, there was a lot of dominance being shown. The battle throughout the field was, at least I think, pretty decent, but the battle for the lead was also very interesting, even though they were strung out quite a bit throughout the race. And the finish, my goodness, the finish was, it was fantastic. It looked like it was Denny Hamlin's race to win today, and well, you know how this ends when it's Denny Hamlin's race to win. He blows it. Not really, though. Actually, it looked like Tyler Reddick was going to blow the win for this race. He had the fast car late. In fact, oddly enough, usually it's Denny Hamlin who performs the overcut in the Gen 7 car. He's the one that stays out a lot longer than everyone else to catch them on the back end of runs with fresher tires. In this race, though, he decided to do the undercut, which seemed to work, as Tyler Reddick, he was way back, but Reddick reeled him in over time, and it seemed like once Reddick got around him, that was it, but Denny Hamlin really stuck with him. Maybe he was saving something for the end of this race, and then Reddick ran out of fuel and lost the lead. It looked like it was all over until Cody Ware asserted himself and reminded everyone he exists in the NASCAR Cup Series, and he spun, causing an overtime restart. Everyone pitted for fuel and tires, and on the restart, this is where Denny Hamlin's, aggressive driving really gets the better of him, because Kyle Larson wasn't going to push Denny Hamlin, knowing their history, to push him in front of Tyler Reddick. Larson takes it 3 wide, gets the lead actually, and looks like he's going to run away with the race, but he himself had a poor handling car compared to Hamlin and Tyler Reddick, and Reddick just shipped it in there and was able to make it stick. He pulls away for the win, his 5th race win of the year out of the first 9 races, which is insane. That's video game numbers. Not done since 1987 Dale Earnhardt. So pretty crazy stuff to be seen by Tyler Reddick. It starts to bring in, and I know people hate having this conversation brought up because we just got out of it with the playoffs finally being eliminated from NASCAR. But, knowing that the points are going to be reset after race 26, it's kind of a shame because I know they have seeding points and, those will probably change over the next few years. But you really I want Tyler Reddick's dominance to just carry him through the whole thing. And it's kind of sucks that may be taken away late in the season, but who knows? He may suck the rest of the season and we might not have this conversation, but kind of already yearning for that full season points format, even though this is year 1 of the chase. Anyway, let's take a look at the power rankings. Just a lot of little movement on the graphic this week. Connor Zillage, your biggest loser of the week, and Trackhouse overall. If y'all haven't pushed the panic button yet as an organization, now is the time to do so. This team is slow and they are bad. Gosh, they are bad. Ross Chastain only finished 26. 26! Ross Chastain, there's no excuse for that organization. The talent behind the wheel is not at fault. Ross Chastain every week should be a top 10 driver, and SVG and Connor Zillage should easily both be within the top 15. But my goodness, if Ross Chastain on pure pace is 26, alarm bells are ringing. Thankfully for them, a couple specialty tracks are coming up in the next few weeks with Talladega and Watkins Glen that could help, recover some of these hits they're taking, but that is not a way to sustain themselves and actually push for a title. Panic, man. This is a panic button there for Trackhouse Racing. They got to push it. And I got to honestly kind of say the same for Front Row Motorsports. Zane Smith started the season really strong with some good runs. Has kind of faded recently. Todd Gilliland started slow, but is starting to pick up the pace. But this team still seems kind of a couple steps behind than where they were a couple years ago. Maybe it's just taking time for the talent to really come in, because these are all 3 really young drivers. Gilliland, Smith, and Noah Gragson. And Gilliland's starting to pick it up. Smith, I wouldn't worry about him. He'll pick it up as the season goes on. Gragson I'm a little worried about, but I think this team will just continue to develop. But still, kind of keep your eye on that organization. Colleague, another team, they just no bueno on the big tracks. They're going to need to really rely on specialty tracks to get any results this season. RCR, kind of a mixed bag. I think Kyle Busch on the specialty tracks, that's going to be his only shot at good results. But Austin Dillon, this is another top 20 result for this team. They actually have some decent pace. They might be a wild card in this initial push for the chase if he continues to put up top 20 results. And yeah, Kyle Busch, my goodness, just a terrible performance. It's so bad now. Alex Bowman, got to give him a shout out, down in 28th, picked up a couple spots in the rankings after a top 20 result, ran in the top 10 for a while, so great to see him do that after missing 4 races due to vertigo. Really want to shout out Riley Herbst, down in 30th. I never thought Riley Herbst would get this high in the power rankings this season, but he's had 2 good results in a row. He legitimately was a top 15 car today and beat Corey Heim in essentially the same car. So I'm not going to start this thing where, Riley Herbst better than Corey Heim, but he's showing some improvements. So congrats to him. Hopefully they can continue to build on that, because I don't think Riley Herbst is a bad driver, but the guy behind him is an elite, generational driver. And that's just putting some really crazy expectations on him and pressure. Probably shouldn't be in a Cup ride, should still be in the O'Reilly series, but really good results. Great to see him finally improving. Daniel Suarez, another driver I want to point out. He continues to plug away those top 20s, just like Austin Dillon, and continue to get good results. He is currently ahead of his whole former team, Trackhouse Racing, in the point standings, and now ahead in the power rankings as well. I mean, this team, if you would have told me that Daniel Suarez would be the second best car at Spire this year, I probably wouldn't believe you. I would have said he would have been the worst out of the 3, but he's proven me wrong so far. A really good result for him. Also, Joey Logano, just no pace. I don't understand. He just can't drive on these big tracks for some reason. He's got to figure that out sooner rather than later. And then at the top, your biggest winner of the week is Denny Hamlin. Really good result for him. I just can't deny him anymore. The guy is right there with the best of them. And right now he's running right behind Tyler Reddick, and that's where I have him in the standings. I dropped Ryan Blaney down a couple spots after a kind of a poor performance here, but still a really great season for him. Well, there you have it, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to my weekly NASCAR Cup Series Power Rankings on Jabo. I've been your host, Brendan Bryan. I will see you all next time after Talladega.